Braun, Pierzynski, Kratz, Kipnis, and Ryan Dempster joining us now.
Yeah, you were an all-star, right?
A couple times.
You were an all-star,
yeah.
Kip?
Yeah, sorry
Couple
about
times.
4 times.
What about me?
You were 4 times?
You're not
Triple A,
all-star.
nice.
We don't talk about that here. This
I
is
never
big
made a
league
minor.
show.
I never made a minor league all-star team.
Yeah, well,
No.
that's grind
Good.
it out.
You were you were too busy making them in the big league.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
good.
point. Yeah, never spent a lot of time in the minors.
And man of many jobs, host of Intentional Talk on MLB Network, analyst on Marquee Sports for the Chicago Cubs, off the mound comedy host, you could call it, right?
Yeah, same sort of thing, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Comedy host, late night talk show host.
No, you're funnier. You're funnier than them.
Well, thanks. It's been a lot of hard work, you know. A lot of improv classes, a lot of Second City, I.O., stand-up. Yeah. Nothing like getting tomatoes thrown at you. That's like, you'll just get faster. You'll get quicker. So, yeah.
So your
ducking them,
PFPs
at
are
dodging
on
them.
point right now?
Yeah, write better jokes, things like that.
You have a writer? Because Kratz has a writer.
Yeah.
His book came out today. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Hi-yo!
Whoa, where did we
Tell
get
the
that?
backup
Where did we
catcher.
get that?
We don't even have one. We don't even have one.
Yeah, they didn't send them.
We don't have
It's
one.
available in ebook only.
It's available on Amazon. Order it for all your friends and all your
What's
shows.
it called?
Tao of the Backup Catcher.
Oh, sweet.
Tim
Okay.
Brown. Yeah, it's
I'm a
awesome.
reader, so I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to read it, except I don't have a
You don't have a
copy.
copy?
You're getting a copy. Relax.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a catcher that was a prima donna?
No, but I played against a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest prima donna? That
On
you
my
played
team, biggest prima donna. Wow.
against? From only the catching position.
I don't know. That's a good question.
What
Probably
about
not
for
as-
any position?
Any position?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to throw some guys on. You know, like superstars are different beasts, right? Like, because
See?
we build,
Are you
we build
listening?
them up.
Are you listening right here? Are you listening to this?
You're a product of time. You just stayed out there.
Oh, you
for
almost
long.
said I grinded.
Yeah.
The
You
opposite
almost
said I
let it
grinded.
slip. You almost let it slip.
This is getting even better.
You grinded. You're not a grinder.
How can you grind and not be a grinder? Explain that.
It doesn't.
Okay. Yeah.
You grinded
Stop
to
interrupting the guest.
success. You didn't have to grind. Maybe
You
that's
hit
the
one home
difference,
run,
you
you're not a
know?
home run hitter.
Good point.
Boom.
It's like there's the grind to survive and then the grind to just continue to do what you're doing.
It's like when his jokes suck up there. He just stays out there and
Just
he's
stay out
grinding.
there.
He's not a grinder. He's
Yeah.
just grinding through it.
I have had like ones. I remember I did a stand-up set in Chicago one time, and my dad was in the front row. I came to watch, and I just was bombing like all night. I would start a joke, and then I didn't get to the punchline, and I'd start another joke, and nobody in the crowd was laughing except my dad. Because he knew it was happening. Like, he'd heard the jokes, and he's like, why aren't you telling the punchline? I don't know what happened. I just got off on a tangent, and, like, it was just weird. So I was grinding up there big time. But
you're not a grinder.
I know.
You're not a grinder.
A little bit. A little bit of a grinder.
Stay on task.
Is that not how the joke telling works though? Like your finishing line, right?
Yeah.
Like like it's pitch sequencing. Like this is my strikeout pitch
Yeah.
at the end, and you just
Sometimes
Forgot to
somebody
go
spits
there?
on the slider, you know? They
Yeah.
were spitting on my jokes, and I was like, nothing. Huh? It's just that's the tough part about being a comic. I've found through being around guys is crowd reading. You know, you might do a set one night and it slays, and the next night nobody laughs, and you're like, different crowd. Should have went a different direction.
Is that the worst feeling ever? You've given up home runs. You've had things happen.
No, the worst feeling I ever had was you hitting a home run off me.
Well,
in
that's true. There's
Wrigley
multiple.
Field.
There's
The worst part of my career.
multiple
Yeah.
home
Wait.
runs.
Oh,
What?
we're getting there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we already talked about this.
Yeah.
We're good on
What do
it.
you mean
We've
you already
moved on.
talked
We've
about
Yeah,
it?
we've
moved
moved past it.
on. Yeah, we had a long conversation about this.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
guys
ever move
just
past
brought it up.
How many homers have you hit off of it?
I know, too.
Yeah. Did you ever hit one in the minor leagues? I
don't
thought
think so.
maybe in the minor leagues. No, maybe
I don't
not.
think so.
was it
Let's
White
rewind
Sox
it.
Cubs?
I wasn't in the minor leagues very long.
Was
No,
this
that-
White Sox
he
Cubs?
said that.
I know. I heard
Where,
him.
where were you
White
playing?
Sox Cubs.
It was
That's what I
White
mean. I
Sox
can't really
Cubs?
remember what
Yeah.
happened because
Yeah.
it was so short.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, Demp,
He
he
hit it, he
doesn't
left.
understand that. We didn't grind.
This is important for the Chicago guys here. So he's beloved by White Sox fans. He's not beloved by Cubs fans, and he's proud of it, and he'll shit on the Cubs whenever he can. Do you feel any of that as a Cubs dude? Like when you meet White Sox fans, are they like, boo, I hate you? Or do you get none of, like,
No,
AJ
actually,
is so
like he was
this or
he
this?
was way more hated than as a White Sox player than I was as a Cubs player going to White Sox. Like, I actually got a lot of this. Like, man, I hate the Cubs, but I like you. And I was like, oh, cool, right on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't, I didn't know what it was. I don't
Did
know
you
if
do
it's
well against him?
hit and miss. I had like some bad games and some bad moments, but I also had some really good moments. That was a fun rivalry, man.
It was
like,
great. Well, I told you that was my favorite. You know, you played Yankees, Red Sox. I played Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Cards. Because when we were good, remember both teams were good.
Yep.
Trying to win. I mean, those 6 games every year, it was a damn.
Well, and that's
circus.
hard because like you don't have a lot of like when interleague was just that, right? When it was just kind of the rivals, it was hard. You don't get like a rivalry against a team you only play 6 to 8, except for the White Sox. It was like.
Is it underrated? Is it an underrated rivalry? Like
It was at the time. I think it was a tense rivalry. You know, like there was like a
When
lot
both
of
teams
stuff
are
going
good,
on. Yeah, when
it's a
both
good one.
teams are good, it's just awesome. You know, Ozzie was piping. He hated the Wrigley Field, and there was always this kind of angst. You know, the White Sox players didn't like the fact that we got so much love in the city, and they were at the time. You guys were better than us. You know, that was the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen,
especially 05. Like,
it wasn't even the players though. It was there is definitely a inferiority complex for White Sox fans.
yeah,
100%. They're like, fuck those guys on the other side, because you would open a newspaper, we'd be in first place by 20 games, and the whole newspaper is Cubs, and we're like, they're not even, they're awful. We're in first place by 20, and then in the little corner they'd be like, White Sox win.
100%.
You're like, what the?
Meanwhile, we took 2 or 3 from the Pirates to jump to 4th. you know?
Yeah, it was unbelievable, but it was never.
Fans were nuts. Like we would have it in the bullpen when I was closing. We would have pools like over/unders on the amount of fights. So we'd have pair of binoculars in the ball bag, and we just sit there and just like
In the
scan
stands, you're
in
saying?
the stands. Yeah. So it'd be like usually it'd be a 3.5 would be the over/under, and then guys would throw in like
Dodgers
what
Giants
inning,
has to
what
beat
pick
that.
an inning
Was it
on when the
more?
first fight would be.
So you have to find the
20
fight
bucks in,
to
you know?
confirm it, right?
Yeah, you had to find a fight, and then it's like, oh, it's 3rd inning, so-and-so got Bob Howery picked the 3rd inning.
Was it more in day games or more in night games? Fights.
Night games.
Oh,
Well, remember
come on.
though,
Yeah, 'cause
they
they
wouldn't
had the
let
whole
us
day.
play. They wouldn't let us play night
No,
games
that-
for a long time.
I think that
They're
was
like,
a
you
big
can
part
only
of it.
play in the day because too many fights. I
Yeah.
swear. They're like, you have to play at 1 o'clock because if you play at night, they get
Everyone's
way too
skinny.
liquored up. And then I think the first night game was like a Sunday night game, and it was
Mayhem.
WrestleMania. I mean, it was a UFC. Everywhere you looked, there was dudes fighting. And
Rival
people-
high schools just renting out sections
Yeah.
in the upper deck,
It was. But
Thought
it
this was
It was
America.
never against the players though. Like
No.
like we always got along. There was
Right.
never like other than your catcher,
Yeah.
your Primadonna catcher Barrett.
Yeah.
Michael
Other
Barrett.
than
We don't
that-
say his whole name on the show. We don't say his whole name on
Don't
the
say
show.
just part of it.
Just
you know?
he
Yes,
says
just-
only Michael, Mike, or Barrett.
I mean, that was
I just said Michael Barrett.
that wasn't even like that was an amazing moment, but that wasn't even the best moment. Like Ozzie kicking
Oh,
Soto's
Soto's- I was
mask as a
hitting when that
catcher.
happened. That was
Imagine
unbelievable.
being the catcher, by the way, and the other manager kicks your mask. Like, and it just Soto's
Was that
reaction
when Soto
was just the
starts
best.
laughing and he
Yeah.
puts
Yes,
his
he was
glove
so
in?
laughing.
I was on
Just like-
deck, so I picked up the mat. He kicked it to me because Alexi Ramirez struck out. He kicked it, and I walk over and I'm like, Gio, here you go. And that's what he's like. You see me walk up, I'm like,
I
"Here you go."
remember Gio putting his glove, his mitt over his face, laughing about
It
that.
was so
That's
good.
You say like, sorry about my manager here.
Yeah,
Your
pretty
mask.
much. I'm like,
We deal with this every day. You're lucky.
He does it to me too.
I mean, my favorite moment, I don't know. I mean, I hit a home run off a guy, and all hell broke loose once. I
Oh
don't know.
man, I think they threw cups on the field and all kinds.
Dude,
of
that
stuff.
was the
It
craziest.
nuts,
The
yeah.
craziest. We've talked about it. I hit this home run off him, and it was the
Two out,
first-
nobody on. There was 2 out, nobody on,
Yeah.
and I gave up a little squibbler, and no wonder I never won a Gold Glove. But it was like a comebacker, and I
think
just
Jermaine
kinda
hit
went,
it,
yeah,
didn't
and
he?
it kind of went through my legs, and then I walked. Maybe it was Carlos Quentin in front of him, or
No,
or
I think
vice
it was
versa.
Ross Glode somewhere was in there, and I was like,
I definitely didn't.
I love these
sorry,
names.
Ross.
I love these
I
names
didn't walk
coming out.
Ross Glode.
so anyway, I told you the story.
Ross, if you're watching right now, I apologize. You're a good hitter, but no.
But
I
I've
didn't.
told you the story. I was
no.
on deck.
But no.
I've told the story. I was on deck, and that was when the media sat right. They used to sit on the on-deck circle for the last out. And all the White Sox guys, I
That'd
said,
be
if I get
annoying.
up, I'm going to hit a home run. And there was 2 outs, nobody on. They're like, you're not getting up. Don't worry, Dempster's going to close it out, whoever was in front of me. He walks them, and I get up, and I hit it. And that's why if you see me after, I'm not pointing at him or
media?
anybody. I pointed right at them. I'm like, I fucking told y'all. And they're like, that was the crazy. And then they threw all the shit on the field. And
Yeah.
That was one of your two homers.
yeah,
off
the other
him.
one was the
I went
One of your-
home,
one of your
filled the
s-
bathtub up with water. I got the toaster, I sat on the counter, and I just sat in there for a little while. I go
Don't-
like
hey,
this.
don't
Do
worry.
I do it? Do I not do it? I don't know.
Prirzynski.
Don't worry, he got me out plenty of
Prirzynski,
times. The other
Prirzynski.
favorite, my
Not
other
that
favorite.
many times.
Yeah, but enough.
18 times.
Yeah, it's enough.
Few
So
times.
my other favorite Ryan Dempster story, and him and I have talked about this too. He was pitching for the Marlins, and I was with the Twins. And this is back in the Metrodome. There was nothing to do. There was nowhere to go. The clubhouses were connected. There was literally they were connect. There was a hallway, right? No, there was a hallway that was about from here to the table, and that was it. That was where they did the laundry. But the clubhouses were literally connected. He goes out in the first. I think he gave like 8 runs in the first inning.
No, it was sort of. It felt like that. It was 4 innings, 4+. I gave up 10 runs. I should have give up 20. Like, my outs were Mike Lowell diving in the hole and Preston Wilson crashing in the center field wall for a catch. Like, there was no – I finally hit Doug Mankiewicz. Remember that?
Yeah.
I drilled him right in the ass. Just boom, and he looks out and he's like, what the heck, you know? And I'm like, you guys are taking softball swings up there. What else am I supposed to do? And he just looked at me and goes, yeah, good point. You know, and he just went down to first, and then they took me out of the game.
The boys are wearing shorts. It was
they were.
it was BP.
Hats were on backwards. You know, they weren't even wearing helmets. They were just like, we're fine. You know?
But he
We'll be good.
afterwards, I don't know what happened. I went up to the clubhouse to grab some, and the clubhouse guy on the visiting side, because they're connected, goes, you guys, you know what Dempster's doing right now? And we're like, no. He's like, he took a case of beer, went down to the batting cage, and was hitting balls off a tee, chugging beers after every swing. And we're like, wait,
For
what?
hours, dude. Missed the team bus, everything. It was a tough grind. You got to find ways to cope, you know. And
Recovery.
like that was it was like I got to get through. I needed aggression. I didn't want to break a sink. I already did that once in Pittsburgh. That didn't turn out well. I snapped in the dugout in Pittsburgh. You know, you go down the stairs.
Yeah.
There's that
Yep.
bathroom, right?
Yep.
So I got a bat, and I'm just like going to town on the sink in there. And it's just like whang, and I'm just hammering away on this thing, you know. And it's just like, boom, and the swing just goes, boom, and it's hanging, right? And I'm just like,
Finish
Yeah.
it. Finish
boom.
it.
And the best part was, water right in my face, and I just stood there, and I'm like, just
I deserve
take it.
that.
Just take it all, man.
So that's what that feels
Yeah.
like.
And the best part was I'm on my bachelor party like months later, and they go, hey, we got you a gift. And it
the
was the
sink?
sink and
Oh.
the bat. Somebody found it on eBay, and one of my
great
buddies
gift.
and gave it to me. So I got a shadow box with that, and one of my prized possession right there.
By the way, I appreciate you doing that, because then during my career, if I was struggling, I would do the same thing. And
case of beer in the
even my
cage.
wife was like, dude, I'd be like, she's like, what are you doing after the game? And I'm like, going to the cage with some beers. She's like, oh, you're Ryan Dempster-ing it. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did
Hasn't
it
really
all.
caught on with a lot of people, but it's a good idea.
I'm really down in the Dempster right now.
Yeah, it was definitely a Dempster fire.
So I have one that I want to get more context on. We had John Lester on Legends Territory a few weeks ago, and I was like, give me one of your just best all-time stories. You played with so many fun dudes, and he starts taking us back to, I believe it was 2013, Times Square, Red Sox life. What do you got?
Yeah, that was a really, man, what a fun team to be a part of. And, you know, we were kind of like wild a little bit. I think everything that happened in Boston with the bombing early on kind of made us this invincible feeling. So I don't know if you remember, I hit a guy that was with the Yankees, and I got
Like a no-name, right?
yeah, he played.
anyone know
he
him?
played for a while.
Middle of the order at that time.
Now, that
but the
guy's name I
Yankees-
might not
yeah.
say.
Yeah, we don't say it.
So
I know who it is.
so
already.
now
Just by you.
I got
Yeah.
I had death threats.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Really?
Yeah, like legit, full on, like pull aside, like, hey, listen, man, this guy had made death threats against you. He is like a convicted. He's had been convicted for assault multiple
Like
times.
where, though? Like, did he send you a
called
letter?
No, he called the Red Sox front office.
Oh,
and
this wasn't
said-
like a
and-
little Twitter death threat.
No,
type
no,
or
this was
run of
real.
the
And he
mill.
said,
like
when
Ben
the
Cherington
Red
picks up
Sox
the phone?
come to New York, I'm letting you know that I'm going to kill Ryan Dempster.
So Ben Cherington picks up the phone, and this guy's like, this is Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I'm here
Yeah.
for Ryan Dempster.
I don't know
I'll
who
see
it
you in
was.
New York.
Yeah.
Click.
You know, and
Okay.
I was like, kind of like, I
Okay.
was scared, but also was kind of like, it's kind of
Okay.
baller to have like a death threat against you. You know? So I was like,
It's for you.
It was only 89.
John Farrell answered. He's like, yeah, Ryan, you're going to have
it's
to
for
take
you.
this one.
didn't even do anything. It hit the elbow guard. You know, he was fine. So now we go to New York, and we're first in, and now I got extra security. Dave Brady was our big security guard. He was awesome, and Charlie, and we had a couple guys there, and they were in charge of following me around. Well, we had like a team powwow in the room where we pizza, and we're just Peeves playing the guitar, and Buckholz is playing the guitar, and we hung out till like.
I was just gonna say, you're like, do you guys want to just stay here tonight?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys want to
nice,
hang
yeah.
out here? Yeah.
So we get done, and I'm like, "Hey, Peeve, are you done with your guitar there?" And he was like, "What are you gonna do with my guitar?" I'm like, "I'm gonna take it to Times Square and go play." you don't play the guitar. And I was like, I know, but I'm going to go try it. So me and Johnny Gomes and Pete, and we go to Times Square.
Wait, did Peeve have clothes on? Because normally he ended up without clothes on playing.
He
the
did.
guitar.
He wasn't the naked cowboy
just
out
us in
there.
there. You know what I mean?
Did you put a hat down or a cup down?
We already showered earlier in the day, so it was fine.
Okay, good.
Get some tips.
I tried.
Did you?
Yeah. And so I went there. It was like perfect time, by the way, if you're ever looking for just like peace and quiet, 4 to 5 a.m. in Times Square. There's nothing happening. Right?
The
we had
1
this
hour.
One
Yeah.
nice lady from
Yeah.
Yugoslavia. She worked. She worked late at night, and she had this window before she came home from work, and then her daughter went to school. That she would come to Times Square because she didn't want to wake up anybody in the house. They lived it, and so she sat next to Johnny Gomes. Gave her $100. Like, here you go, and she was like over the moon. Like, are you serious? Like, there was this moment, and so I'm writing songs about Forever 21 and the NASDAQ. You know, like I'm just like having a great time.
M&M's?
And I got no money. M&M store was there.
Yep.
Delicious.
And next day, Dave Brady, you know, he's this big, huge security guard. He's like, "Did you go to Times Square last night?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You're an idiot. Why'd you do that?"
It's the most
death
open
threat
place.
And I was like, "Well, I figured if he's gonna find me, that's
I'll see him
pretty
coming
lit
at
up.
least.
Yeah, I'm gonna see exactly
I'll
right.
see him
Oh,
coming.
he's not gonna sneak up on me there, you know, unless he's naked cowboy. Then
Or
I'm like,
the-
"Hey, what
or
are you
the
doing
elbow.
here, man?"
He's in the
A lot of
elbow
respect
costume.
for that guy, man. Winter, summer, spring, fall, he's out there just in a G-string. I love it.
Unclothed.
But so we go there and we're playing, and he goes, "Did you get any money?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Well, it's because you can't suck. If you're gonna wear designer jeans, you can't suck playing the guitar. You gotta be good." You know. And I was like, "Oh, great point." So nothing ever came from it, but that was the whole story, and it was
Wow.
just awesome. Like, you know, Johnny and I just taking it all in. There's at least 6 people. Like, think about that. New York City, all those people. There's 10 million people in Manhattan. There was like 6 people in
That's fun.
all of Times Square. It was kind of like surreal and
That's
cool.
fun.
And I remember Johnny looking at me going, "Hey, man, if this is the moment it's going to happen,
You're going
I got
out.
your back." dude."
There's worse ways to go.
I'll drag you out of the street.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Give me some all-star thoughts. What are you observing here? Who have you talked to?
Yeah, I just think the energy of it all is awesome, man. I mean, you know, we were all down on the field. It's like,
No, they
you got
weren't.
all-
Yeah,
oh,
we
you had-
were not.
Us two
You
were.
got all these, you know,
One day.
incredible ball players of today's game, this talent, and then yesterday's ball players who were there, and Hall of Famers, and all this kind of stuff, interacting and mingling, and then the home run derby was like, it was awesome, pretty incredible, you know, with Vlad Jr. and now his dad, father son, like, you know, that's pretty special. I have my son here. We're hanging out, but that first round with
Yeah.
J-Rod was, I mean,
Dude,
the energy in that place was nuts.
Speaking of your son, his son is like gigantic,
Yeah.
and he's on crutches.
He has the largest crutches in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
right?
I mean,
What happened?
He dislocated his knee. He was boxing with a buddy, and they kind of were going around. He went to go kind of do a move, and the guy came in, and his knee just gave
Ooh.
out. Guy gave over top of him, dislocated, tore his MPFL, tore his meniscus, shaved part of his femur off. So, like, going into your
Oof.
senior year, summer, you're supposed to be, like, you know, having fun with your buddies, and he's been laid up. So, you know, last night he was like, "Dad, this has just been the coolest day ever," and everybody
That's
was so
awesome.
great to him, and
That's
treated him
awesome.
great.
That
So,
is
yeah.
great.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And he's going to be super jacked after this.
Yeah, his forearms already. He's like, look, I'm like Popeye. It's like, hey, slow your roll, man. Like,
Get out of
we're
your
bigger than
bedroom.
before,
Get
but
out of your
we got a long
bedroom.
ways to
Right. Got a ways to go.
Come join the family at dinner. All right.
We were kicking around. So,
Doors open.
so first on the
No
derby,
more locked
Demp,
doors.
because, you know, we have a pitch clock in the bigs, and we've had the timer format with the home run derby for a while. Do you feel like maybe we scale it back a little? We were trying to find this happy medium where it feels like it's gotten to the point, because these dudes are so competitive, where it's just as much about like the pitcher and how many balls he can get and throw, and they're just taking quick swings, and there's something in my mind missing to like the majestic home run. We all admire it for a sec. There's balls flying left and right at the kids in the outfield, the TV experience, and even there we're like, what is he at? What is he at? It's so fast now.
yeah.
Do you think that there's anything that we can do to, because the
Yeah.
derby gets tweaked all the time, like can we do anything to make it like a little slower?
Well, I would love a combo. So, like, you start
what
with,
I just
like,
said.
the traditional, whatever, the 10 outs, you know, and then you get to that 30-second go. Like, you get the bonus round of 30 seconds, and it's just whack, 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 because there is something about that, right? Like, you're missing the true at-bat a guy gives. Not that he's giving an at-bat to a BP pitcher, who, by the way, the dude who pitched to Alonso yesterday, somebody he carved,
Nasty.
man. He was
Yeah.
good down
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way.
He got
That's
signed
why I'm out of
already.
the
He
game.
got
Yeah.
signed already.
Yeah.
Pitchers like you and pitchers like Aaron
Yeah, that's
Myers.
he'll get a lot of people out doing
Yeah.
that, you know. But he did well hitting 21 with that, but no, and also the other way, the dude throwing for the Mariners, I don't think the first round of J-Rod, I don't think he threw a ball. It was just right there every time.
He pitched a perfect Derby game.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, I think maybe like, and I think they're always looking to do that, you know, constantly evaluating. I think a combo one would be fun because, you know, you get these guys tired out, and then the break in between is like supposed to be 45 seconds, but ends up being like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, and it's like if you just did take your time with the outs, you know, you don't have to swing at every pitch because you're in a hurry. But yeah, I think they do a great job of kind of looking at it
10
and saying, what can we do better?
What if
Yeah,
every swing?
I brought it up. That's why Kip said. What?
He's
We
trying
said
to
it
come up with
earlier.
ideas. He's like, what if every swing mattered?
Like-
it's like you get like 4. I was like, that's the original format.
Yeah.
5 swings, money balls. After the time runs out.
That was my idea was
Five
almost the
swings?
reverse of what you're
Worth
saying.
more
is
than one though.
We do say a
Oh,
minute.
like the basketball,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yes.
colored, yeah.
We do say a minute, then you get 5 more swings, and each ball counts, say, as 2,
Yeah.
and a 450-foot plus counts as 3.
Yeah.
So then you can actually be like, oh, shit, he's down 2. And if he hits this one, it'll tie, or if he goes 450 plus, he'll win it. You know, like, you can
Or
assign
you could make it
points.
a wager. Think about you could, like from the start, you could say, all right, I'm going to wager 5 points on this ball. And then the guy behind you, the
Yeah.
second guy is like, oh, I'm going to wager 120 on one swing and
Yeah.
hit one
Well,
swing.
it's
and,
coming. Yeah.
You know, like something to make every swing count.
Yeah, I like the every swing count. I actually like that what you're saying, the reverse. Like instead of the time at the end, do the time first and then, you know, because like think about that. Like if you're like sitting there and you're like instead of it being time and time running out, you're just like waiting. That guy's keyholing and then here it comes.
And you know what
Yeah.
you need, because with the timer, it's so fast, they're not paying attention.
Yeah,
they're just swinging.
Yeah.
For the, okay, 1 swing left, this is what you need to do. And everyone knows. And TV can catch up, too, and be like, this is where the score is. This is what is needed. Because
Yeah.
right now with the timer, everyone's like, we're all like, where's it at? Like,
I'm here. I'm there. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm there.
And we
What if
wanna
you
see
brought
the
back,
distance.
Like, old pitchers to throw the dirt.
That's what I
See,
said.
Now that
You know?
see
They
that
haven't
I
really
like
given
that
up
a
home
lot.
Runs clearly, you know. So like I could do that.
I would love
Yeah.
that.
Nice and straight at 88. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm sure
Still
you're
got
talking.
88.
You me?
Yeah.
You give me like 6 weeks, 2 months. I got 88.
You're going to
Yeah, I
do
love
the,
that
you're
kind of
going to try and trick him with the glove?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a really lot of wiggles. A lot of wiggles to get anybody out.
What was the last
We
like,
ranked you on this set. by the
super
way.
competitive pitching? Was that the Team Canada performance, right?
WBC,
That was
yeah.
WBC, which
Is that
actually
16?
Se-
Yeah.
17.
But think about that. So I went from not throwing since 2013 and then pitching in 2017, and I think in the WBC I topped out at 93. So I was like 90, 91. But my arm doesn't. Ever since the WBC, again doing that and revamping, like when I got done playing, like a turtle shell, my arm just went.
Everything just.
Yeah, I was like try to grab stuff. I'm like, come on, let me get that. You know, like
We
it
don't do
totally,
this
like,
anymore.
Retracted. So I did a bunch of like masseuse work, body work to get it feeling good, and then after my arm never, knock on wood, like I could throw BP, I could throw 500
Forever.
pitches of BP. Next day, it's fine.
Wow.
It's like the most bizarre thing. It's like during my career I couldn't even do that, and now it's like no problem.
I thought you only threw BP. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
now
Sorry.
I do clearly. Yeah.
Do you think they should have?
Hold on. I'm still mad at you, by the way, because you quit. And I saw you guys win in 2013. You're Johnny. We
Yeah.
won the whole thing. Go Marathon. And then I signed with the Red Sox. Fucking retired.
Yeah.
Didn't
Because
show.
you signed.
Oh, yeah,
there.
I know. That's why I said I'm mad at him.
I was on the fence.
And then he's like, "Yep, I'm out."
Hey, well, I'm going to go with that.
He listened to Ozzie Guillén. Ozzie Guillén said,
Yeah, exactly.
"You hate AJ."
But he would have hated me less. See?
No, that's not what he said. He said you hate him more if you're on your team.
No, the other way.
I know.
But yeah, he said, yeah. I'm like, all right, we got Dempster, we got Peavy, who I knew, Buchholz, Lester, Lackey. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be pretty good again.
Rossi.
Rossi was still there,
Yeah.
right? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the team's kind of still intact. Dempster. Yep, I quit.
Yeah.
Well, you knew it wasn't you as a player then. It was just you as a person that he
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah,
to get.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm well
Yeah.
aware exactly
Yeah.
what it was. Like,
I figured I got away with one trip to Times Square. That was it.
That was it.
I mean,
You
I'm-
were still
yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Like,
Who was more bitter that season with 14? You or Lackey making the minimum that year? Because that's the year he had to make the league
Right,
minimum.
remember that?
Because he had the injury during his 7-year contract.
or we had the same agent. Maybe our agent was the most bitter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
then he got
knows.
traded.
That's why I love Lack too, though. There was never like at least publicly or anything like that. Maybe sure in his house, with the door closed, might be pissed. Cool, that's what I signed up for.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he never ever
never
at one
once
time.
He was
never.
pissed at the end of every outing. He was,
Yeah.
he was always yelling in his glove like.
He was the
asking
only
to
guy
stay.
all year that year in 2013. The only time that John Farrell, our manager, went to the mound and didn't take the pitcher out was Game 6 of the World Series. And Lackey said, "No, you ain't going anywhere. Bro. You can go back to the dugout."
He told him, "I'm not coming
Yeah,
out."
you can go back to the dugout. He said, "Yeah."
He was like that.
Yeah.
I told the story with Lester.
Yeah, but he was like that on the second mound visit.
Yeah.
Like they come out and
yeah.
visit him, and then no, I got John. Like you
We have
to come
to
out.
take
The,
you
the
out.
rule
he still,
is-
was, he still was like, "We'll change the rule."
and he's like, "No, and he's all like mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Good dude though. He's a good.
He's one of those guys that
Right,
when
yeah, I mean, he
you
wanted the
don't know
ball.
him yet.
That's
when
what you want.
You compete against him and you see all like maybe a little bit of the antics and like kind of the fire breathing on the mound. You're like, what is wrong with this guy? Or is this guy an asshole? Then you finally get to meet him, and he's top notch, one of the better guys.
Well, and like you can take a lot. I hope that a lot of young guys watched him. There was this like mentality. Sometimes we get so caught up in, and especially in today's game because we got something that tells us what pitch to throw on which count. You know, like on 2-1, I got to throw this. He was like, no, let me find out today if you can hit my heater. You know, until you put a good swing, I'm coming. Here we go. Like, let's go. Whereas now, you know, the fastball away and then a cutter and then a sinker and then a curveball and a changeup and the first batter of the first game.
Has seen everything.
Every pitch.
Yeah.
The guy on deck circle's seen them all, and meanwhile, Lack's like, nope, four-seamer.
Oh, he would tell you.
Yeah.
Lester was the same way. Lester's like, I'm throwing heaters in
Yep.
until someone shows me something different. And he would just come out and go, throw
People
30.
didn't realize when Lackey, you ever remember this? He'd have the ball, and if you ever saw him go like this and he'd look down, he'd be
Yeah.
looking at his four-seam grip. I'm like, you know he's throwing a heater right here, and it's coming right down the middle. He was just kind of look down the side and be like, all right. Then he'd get on the mound. And like it was like a total tip, but he didn't care. He's like, yeah, good, I hope they swing.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
he would tell you that. He
I
would do
wish
the
I
same
would've
thing.
picked
He'd go,
Lackey.
Yeah.
he'd tell you, I'm throwing all fastballs
Yep.
until something happens. And he would just,
Yeah.
and he'd,
It's a
but
good
he'd throw it,
mentality.
but he'd
It's
throw
hard to
it,
hit.
but he'd throw it all over the.
Super hard to hit.
Yeah.
I know, as an 099 hitter, it's not
Lackey.
Yeah.
easy.
I have
No.
one more for you.
Lackey.
I'm sure you talk about him all the time on all the shows that you do. So I'm going to give you a fake gift. You are now the owner of the Angels.
Yeah.
What are you doing with Shohei Ohtani over the next 6 to 8 months? Like from a trade perspective, being where the team's at right now and missing guys like Trout and others in the offseason, like what is the game plan?
I'm not trading them.
Really?
Under, even if they're 6-7 games out by the time we get to the end of the month, not trading him.
No, because let's be honest, how many guys get traded and then re-sign?
Almost none.
Never.
But you have to have
Aroldis
your
Chapman.
some knowledge that he's not going to resign if you're not progressing at all with talks with him.
Yeah, but the problem, like you know this, like the problem is that guys, as you get closer and closer, it becomes harder and harder to say, yeah, I'll do an extension with, 2 months left to go or a month left to go. As you get closer to be able to go out and get in the baseball Tinder world and get to date whatever team you want for a weekend or a week,
Swiping.
Yeah,
Just
it's
swiping.
like, yeah, not you. Not, ooh, this looks like a good place to go.
I want to see what
So I just think that I personally want him on my team, so I want to do everything I can to re-sign him. So I want to keep that relationship going, and then I'm going to press hard. And like my belief is that I would go shorter for more. Like I saw somebody throw out something about 3 for 300. I don't know that's not the number, but like I would prefer to go, 5 for 300, 5 for 250, whatever that annual AAV that they're getting is, cool. But you get these long-term deals out. They're hard. They're really hard. John Lester, the Max Scherzers, those are hard to find.
But someone's going to do it. Like if he gets, because the Dodgers have tried that. I think they tried it with Harper. Like someone might go, oh, 300, but then another team goes 8,600 or 9,600. I mean, he's going to go to the 600.
Yeah, but maybe not. If you make it small enough for enough money, and he can become a free agent again 3 years from now.
What would you do if you were him? Which one would you take? The super small, way higher AAV, or double the money and it's
where am
basically
I
for the
going?
rest?
I'm going to a winning team.
You get to say it.
More than likely, you're going to a winning team.
That's what I mean. It's like I better be going to a place that's committed to winning. You know, right? And I mean truly committed. And like maybe those are discussions you have where like, hey, listen, if we get it 4 years into this deal and things are still going great, but we need players. Can we figure out a way to restructure this so that we can bring in, because like you're only as good, like look at it. One time in the history of baseball, a free agent contract of over $200 million has led to a World Series title.
Is that right?
Scherzer?
Max Scherzer. That's it. So
That's right?
Mookie Betts was an extension. When he went to the Dodgers, that was a trade and an extension.
So that doesn't count.
A-Rod was an extension. You know, he was a
You
trade
mean a free agent guy you bring
he
in?
didn't win with Texas. It was a trade to the Yankees, and then he
they
opted out and got an extension. It's never been a free agent. So, like, as a player, as we get older, you know, the only thing we want to do is win.
Yeah.
Like, you start, at this point, the money that is in the game, if you're smart enough to save it, like, you're going to have money. So then losing sucks. You don't want to come to the ballpark and lose. So if there's some sort of way to have those conversations of, like, before you even sign it, like, this isn't going to be something where we can't afford it later because we're paying you $70 million a year, whatever it is. But, like, this guy, we give him run, you guys give him run, IT gives him run, the MLB Network gives him run, ESPN gives. He's not even getting enough run.
Yeah.
It is ungodly what he does. I know how hard it is to start every fifth day in the big leagues, you know, and then on top of that have to be prepared, all those meetings, and be ready to hit, and then do them both at elite, you know, hitter-wise top, 5 in the game, pitcher-wise top 10 in the game. Like, that's crazy, man. To be able to fill both of those spots is like, is unreal. It just doesn't happen. Look at Brendan McKay tried it with Tampa. You got injuries that happen. You got things that come up. This guy is beyond special.
Right. It would have been cool if he's just like average at both. He is the
Yeah.
best,
He's-
or one of the best
he's-
at both.
Yeah, he's the 1% of the 1% at both. It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, great to see you.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
for
to see you
swinging
guys.
by.
Thanks for coming by.
This was fun.
Yeah, heck
Saw you
yeah, this is a
yesterday.
good spot, man. I like this spot here. This
Chill.
is nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go have one of those screwdrivers before IT and a couple of those.
It's on us.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, do you and Millar ever like make crazy bets on IT?
I mean, what, like a child?
Well,
know?
no, you know, like
I don't know what
you'll-
kind of crazy.
like I don't know, something with Millar. Like if Cubs play the Red Sox win. You'll shave your head. I know that's not happening, but
Yeah,
you know, like, but
it's
like
coming back.
it is coming back, 100%. It looks great, by the
Thanks.
way. I saw your billboard in O'Hare too, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome.
Tackling bundles.
Him and Urlacher.
Hey, it works.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
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 What?
Don't give me that look, you son of a bitch. But I don't know. Like, hey, if the Red Sox win, Millar, you got to frost your tips again, or
Remember that when he had frosted tips? It was so great.
I mean,
man. No real crazy bets like that. I mean, not with that kind of stuff. We used to enjoy Vegas a little too much at times.
yeah.
As far as tables, you have some fun. Play Jenga. You ever play Jenga at where you just build your stack as high as you can.
Yep.
But like
then it all
mostly like
falls.
we're on each other's side. We're on each other's team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like the biggest thing is we're never really betting against each other. Like he bought dinner last night. I thanked
That's
him
got to be
afterwards.
the first time that's ever
I
happened.
said I can't even remember the last time you did this. I'm beyond shocked, and I'm just so grateful that you got your arms extended. The turtle thing I was talking about?
Alligator
He
arms.
gets that every time the check
Yeah.
comes.
Great hitter.
It's like both arms just go like this, and then he tries to reach his wallet, and he can't get it.
He hasn't
he
healed
goes
yet.
to the bathroom, like he figures it
That's
out,
his. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Because he's America's guest.
But you go to the cafe in the morning, with the coffee and a donut, and he's like, "Oh, I got it." It's like, "Oh, well, shoot,
He's
cool,
America's guest.
You got the last one.
12:36.
Let me get
Demp,
breakfast. You
it's
got
so-
the
We go to
steakhouse
Morton's
dinner.
that night, and he's like, "Remember I got breakfast?"
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's so bad, I see his wife randomly in Dallas.
Yeah.
And she's in the coffee line in front of me, and she turns around, she sees me, she's like, "Oh, AJ, I'm Millar's wife." I'm like, "Oh yeah." She orders coffee and she just walks away, expecting me to pay for it. I was like, "Guess I got it."
Yep. Yeah. He's earned it. He's 0-4 champ. He'll let you know.
Yep.
Real
America's
1-5.
champ.
The real 1-5.
Yeah. Dude, great to be with you guys.
Hey,
man.
awesome, man.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
We'll see you down at the field today.
Yes.
Well, some of you.
Some of us.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
AJ's taking over.
Thanks, dude.
Good to see you,
Yeah.
dude. You can catch all of the Legends Territory episodes on Foul Territory's YouTube channel or on Apple or on Spotify. And thanks to the MLB Players Alumni Association for putting all of this together. And for more information on your favorite players, hit up baseballalumni.com.